G'day, I'm Tim Thompson. Steel posts can be rather difficult to get out of the ground. And if you don't want to mangle your post, you probably want to consider getting something like one of these, a steel post lifter. Now there's a huge range on the market. I've gathered together today some of the most popular, including a special little model that even just fits in your pocket. The plan is to put these through their paces on both a standard galvanised stock post and a galvanised Stockpost XL, all of them rammed in the same location to 600mm or 2 feet depth. At the end of this video, hopefully we'll be able to make a decision about the steel post lifter that's right for our purposes. If you like this video, please don't forget, hit the subscribe button, give it a thumbs up, and as always, there's heaps of great content on timthompson.ag. I've put these posts in especially for the purpose, and you'll see on your left is a standard sized galvanised stock post, and we're going to try one of these for each post lifter. Directly opposite to your right is the Stockpost XL in galvanised, all of them sunk 600mm into the ground, all in the same location, all put in today, so that this is a really fair test. Now those of you who are familiar with steel posts will know that they get harder to pull out as time goes on because they corrode and they get a plug of dirt around them. I do admit that this test can't take into account how much harder the posts are going to get over time, but what it can do is judge evenly at this moment of time post lifter versus post lifter. Now here's a quick tip. If you are straining to move one of these old bitumen style steel posts that's been rusting in the ground for a few years, here's a counterintuitive tip that might help. Put your post lifter to one side for a minute, grab a post knocker, and counterintuitively give it a couple of thumps into the ground. That'll break up that plug, push it through it, and then you'll be able to pull it back out nice and easily. See? Just like butter. Well, butter that's been left in the fridge too long, but it's coming out. Eventually. First up is one of the most common post lifters that you'll find on the market. It's just literally two flat pieces of steel welded to a plate that's suspended off a cantilever. Let's see how this one performs on both the standard and the XL stock posts. All you have to do is slide the flat plate on over the post, get your base reasonably close to the post, lift your lever up and start pulling. Now I've had bad luck with these particular post lifters before because the flat steel plate has simply just slipped on the post because there's only been small points of contact. And there we go, we've started to slip. This is my main concern with this type of post lifter, is that it'll slip on the post. You'll get halfway through a job and all of a sudden it'll just start slipping, and there it goes again. If you've got a lot of tension on this post and a big plug of dirt in the ground, it'll take you forever to get this post out of here. And what a lot of people have to do is they end up standing on the end of it and all sorts of things which are quite dangerous because they bring you near to the post. And if this then lets go, you can land on the post and do yourself an injury. Be very wary of these double plate style lifters. They are dangerous. Now, will this do a larger size Stockpost XL? Well, let's find out. And yes, it attaches quite nicely. Let's see how well it grips onto this particular post. And it looks like we're getting a bit of grip. Got to be really careful though. It's wanting to go around to the side and let go. So I am having to reseat it each time. And now I've got a bit of a rhythm up. And it's pulled that out of the ground remarkably easily. So this is an option for your Stockpost XLs. Next up, we've got an improvement on that design. We've got a hook that actually fits around the stock post a little bit tighter, and we've got a plate of hardened steel that's bolted to the top that does the digging in. So this should have a firmer contact area and be a safer and better fit than the last alternative. These don't cost a lot more money, and I'm expecting a bit better performance out of this one. So this is our hooked post lifter with our hardened steel plate. So we actually have to hook that around the post and then bring it in and slide it down. Once we've got it into position though, it couldn't be easier, and there's no chance of this coming off the post. If you're after one of these grabby, slidey types of post lifters, this is by far and away a better deal than the last one, and there was absolutely no slip at all. However, there's a bit of a problem. Let's try and put it on the Stockpost XL. Yeah, nah. So if you're like me and you're running a larger style of steel post these days, maybe every third post along to strengthen up your fence, then this sort of lifter, it's no good. Next up, we've got the Budget Whites model, which is once again a lever action lifter that relies on angled compression, but this time it's using a C-shaped yoke to go around the post. Let's see how this one works. Putting it on the post is quite an easy operation. You just simply get the C-yoke hooked up around the post. Now there is one advantage of this system, and that is that no matter what angle you come at the post from, you're going to be able to grab it. The disadvantage, of course, with any of these systems is that your points of contact are minimal. They're only on the 3 fins, but with the long lever, the post is really easy to pull out of the ground, and the C-yoke slides down with each grip, making it quite a pleasant experience pulling out a standard size stock post, now the Stockpost XL. Unfortunately, this is the next of our post lifters that doesn't fit the new generation of larger size steel posts. Now I rang up Whites and I had to talk to them about this because I thought, why doesn't their product pull out a Whites product? Well, it turns out that they made a bigger yoke. They made a yoke to fit the Stockpost XL. But in testing, because of the extra tension keeping this in the ground, the greater surface area, they actually found that even this yoke design, which doesn't slip at all compared to the orange one we tried earlier, slipped on the Stockpost XL from time to time. And they're not prepared to go to market with a product that could potentially slip and cause injury. So for the time being, the Budget Whites lifter will only work on the standard size stock post. Okay, we're getting down the line a bit now, and as you can imagine, we're going up a bit in price. And there's a good reason for that. There's a lot more moving parts with this Whites professional style lifter. Now, lifters like this have a set of articulated jaws that compress on the post, and the more pressure you put on this lever, the more pressure that these jaws exert on the post and grip on. Now, there's a huge advantage with these type of lifters, and that is that they only need one fin of the post. So no matter how your post has been put in the ground, you've always got access to one part of it that you can pull out. Attaching it to the post is quite easy. Just get one of the fins, put it next to the post with your foot, and lever down. Once again, it's a simple one-handed operation to get your post coming easily out of the ground. And there we have it. Now once again, because this only requires one fin, it'll work on any size steel post. So it's kind of future-proof. If they decide to come up with a size stupid stock post in the future, this thing should still work. Let's see how easily though it pulls the post up out of the ground. One of the things I noticed with the last post I pulled out is that you really want to keep your foot on it because it does tend to crab walk away from the base of the post as you use it. And I think that's a function of the difference between the top and the bottom contact spaces on this remover. So let's keep our foot in place and just slowly lever. And this is an example of why these posts require different equipment. We've actually got a bit of slippage on this. So let's have a look at that close up and see what's happening. So we're definitely slipping on that fin. So what I'm going to do now is try another fin from another angle and see if we can improve the results. We'll take it off here and we'll put it on this fin. And yep, we're underway. So something obviously made it slip the first time. It's not slipping at all now, but I will point out it does put little scratch marks in the side of the post as you're pulling it out of the ground. Just a bit of a tip, if it ever does start to slip, simply put your foot on the bottom of the mechanism, you get a bit of extra bite, it stops slipping. And I tell you what, the extra size of these posts, I think you can tell, they really add to the power required to get these out of the ground. These are not a post to be pulled out with a budget lifter, even if it'll fit. Now, last but not least is a post lifting attachment that quite literally fits in your pocket. This is the Richmond post lifter from Mafra in Victoria. It's a laser cut piece of steel. It's got the imprint of a steel post in one side and a hole to attach a D-shackle or a chain hook in the other. This is designed to be used with the toolbars of tractors, or in the case of today, a high lift jack. So with this simple little gadget, I can turn any jack or tractor into a post lifter. Now, as long as this doesn't slip, it's basically guaranteed to work, because after all, the high lift jack can jack up a truck. The surface area around the bottom of this post is going to be no match for that pulling power, particularly with the big long lever and the extra leverage that we get through the jacking mechanism. And as you would expect, it's coming up out of the ground with minimal effort. One thing I will say is that the jack does tend to tip into the post because the base is a good, 6 inches away from the post. So if it was really stuck tight in the ground, the jack would have a tendency, rather than the professional White's post lifter pulling it straight up, the jack would have the tendency to push the post over and potentially bend the steel post, which could make it more difficult to put it in the ground when you're finished. Having said that, using a tractor would get rid of that problem completely. Now let's see if this one will work on a Stockpost XL. And unfortunately, the answer's no. I tried to get in touch with the company and find out if they have a larger model, but it's only a listing on eBay. There's no real direct contact address. I will put the link to the eBay listing on this video if you want to just buy one, but the jury's out on whether or not they actually have a larger size to go with the new style of steel post, which is your Stockpost XL and similar. As always, don't forget, if you like this, hit the subscribe button, give it a thumbs up, and there's plenty more content as always on timthompson.ag.